Hello all, it's me Andy from Blitz Gaming. Hope you're all having a great day. Today's video, we're back with Intel's ARC A770. Today's driver update is 4369 and we're going to compare it to the original driver of 3490. Test it for 4 games and have a look at the UE, see how well it's come on over the last 8-9 months. Okay, so the test system, as just before, of all the tests we've done for ARC, we're using a Gigabyte Z690 Gaming X DDR4 motherboard, Intel i5 13600K Raptor 8 LGA 1700 motherboard, 16 gigs of DDR, 3200 MHz memory, 500 gig NVMe drive from Western Digital 4TB blue hard drive for the games, Corsair 850 watts power supply, Lian Li all-in-one 240 CPU cooler, and we have we're all in the ARC Classic Corsair 4000D airflow case. Graphic card is the Intel ARC A770. Windows 11 is up to date. We are using the release driver of 3490 and the May driver of 4369, the latest driver. BAR is on as standard these days in all our tests, and all the games are up to date from Steam. If you remember, over the last, well, since it's been out up to now, you have to accept the user account control. And then we had the UI, we couldn't move around, it got stuck. If there's anything in the background, you click on the background instead of the UE. It's a bit of a nightmare really, and a lot of the functions didn't work. It was a bit of an hopeless case really. Yeah, so they've come on a long way since there. They've added a few extra functions since then. Okay, you no longer need to use the user account control to actually access it. I think the screen is not working properly. The scanner, I should have 6 or 8 games listed and it's only listing the 2. So yeah, that's not working properly. New screen here. You can pick what display you got if you've got more than one display listed. Now it goes with AMD and Nvidia. They've had that sort of technology for years. We're now just caught up. Don't think this screen's changed much. I think it's the same as before. Yeah, there's a lot of changes basically in the fixing wise. I need to do an AV1 test to see if it's still working properly. If you remember rightly, when I recorded the desktop it crashed. Worked fine when you recorded games, just not on the desktop. Okay, let's look at some games, see how they've improved. We will start off with Red Dead Redemption 2. So I'm going to get 1080p full screen, no VSync. We don't do VSync when we're testing games, because we want to get the max setting. I'll let you know, when I put FSR 2 on, it does go a hell of a lot faster, but there's that bug which has been there since day one. Being it's an AMD is FSR, it's not really an Intel bug, it's down to the game. So, but we'll show you it anyway. If you notice the trees, they're all going funny colour, they go dark, flashing, all sorts of stuff. It constantly happens with FSR on. Not found a way to get rid of it yet. Okay, with the 2 drivers, there's really nothing in it. Basically the same as each other. Maybe 1 frame here or there. I wouldn't really count that as actually a loss. If I do another run, it'll probably come out the other way round. Most importantly, Nvidia is now releasing the 4060 Ti. If you look at video memory used and system memory used, they're both over 8 gig. So yeah, spending £400 on a graphic card and you're only getting 8 gig of memory. You've got memory, this is only 1080p. It's like, okay, that's not right really, is it? At the end of the day, I want more than 8 gig of memory. I think it's a bit wrong. Nvidia only doing 8 gigs of memory on a £400 graphic card is a bit of a disgrace. Okay. Again, it shows there the built-in benchmark. Average frame rate is literally, there's nothing in it. Okay, the minimum dropped. Again, but it could do a different run, it come out different. So, but the average, very close. Not really any changes through the drivers for Red Dead. Okay, latest Call of Duty and Warzone 2 setup. So yeah, basically we're going to be using Ultra presets throughout. Again, no VSync, 1080p, full screen. So yeah, we've got dynamic resolution turned off because I can't stand it. So yeah, you could do a boost there, but yeah, we'll see how it runs. Again, I'll be surprised if there's anything changed. We will have a look in a second. So we got frame rate up. You can say, yeah, okay, there's 4 frames in it. Again, you could run a bit different next time we run it. I mean, usually when I do a normal benchmark, I'll run the game 3 times to take the average. But because we're doing a side-by-side comparison, we're just going by 1 run on each driver. So yeah, very, very similar. Don't see no graphic glitches on any of the drivers at the end of the day. So yeah, seems to be fine. We switch on XeSS from Intel. Game running at 1080p full screen, no VSync. We're on quality mode. We're only doing Intel's XeSS, just out there drivers. See how well it runs. Again, nothing in it. Now, if you want a real big boost, turn on Nvidia's NIS or AMD's FSR. That gives you a way bigger boost than XeSS. But yeah, otherwise, fine. Never saw no graphic glitches in the game on any of the drivers. It's probably more consistent than what it was before. And it probably runs better and it probably doesn't crash. So, but I can't remember that far back, to be honest with you. I don't remember it crashing anyway when I played it on the original driver. So yeah, can't complain really anywhere at all. GTA 5 game, we'll be using DirectX 11, full screen, no VSync. And we go over our settings. We've got literally ultra high setup on the right hand side. Not turned on it, used any of the line boosters, anything like that, or extending the shadows and all that sort of stuff. Just going by the normal settings on the right hand side. to get the game running. Okay, for all those GTA 5 lovers, there is definitely a boost on the latest driver on this one. It's not close. I mean, there's a 10 frame difference between the two, so that's a big boost. Can't complain with that. Take note of the system memory used. We are over 8 gig of memory, so I don't suggest anyone playing with 8 gig of memory at all. And we're doing about 6 gig on video memory. Again, we're not on the maximum settings. You can turn on extended shadows and the other stuff, put on MSA, and you probably find out to fly up a bit more, and you may need 8 gig plus video memory. Game, don't forget, we're at 1080p, so yeah, it's playing fine, no glitches anywhere. Basically, we're using ultra settings. It says custom now. That's because we turn XESS off for the first runs, and it comes up custom. Otherwise, it's ultra presets. Throughout, again, full screen, no VSync turned on. Okay, get to the end, get the frame rate up. There's no changes basically on the driver front in performance for Cyberpunk. I never noticed any glitches playing the game or crashing while I was testing it, so can't complain at all. So turn on XESS. So now it should say ultra settings now with XESS turned on, and we're on quality mode again. So yeah, let's see if there's a boost in performance. Again, both drivers are extremely similar to each other. We're worth 7 frames, 8 frames more maybe 9 frames more with XeSS turned on quality. Over the standard mode, again, never see any glitches playing the game on these, but I haven't played the game enough at the end of the day. But if anyone does play these games often and with Intel Arc graphic card, let us know if you've got any glitches, and I'll post it saying yes, there's still glitches in the game. But otherwise, yeah, it seems to run fine, no problem. Don't forget, with this game and this card, you can use ray tracing on this game, even on low settings, but it does come out pretty well with ray tracing turned on. Total War Warhammer 3. Now, there's supposed to be a lot of fixes in the drivers for this game, but I've never actually come across any bugs in the first place, so for me, I've not had any problems playing Warhammer 3 at all with this graphic card. There's supposed to be crashes and other sort of glitches, flashing and all sorts of stuff, but I've not had a problem, as I just said, playing this game. And we're at 1080p, ultra presets, full screen. Yeah, let's see how it runs. Again, I've never had a problem playing this game at all with this graphic card. Yeah, so with all those fixes Intel's been doing, there's a nice boost, what, a good 15 frames a second over the original driver, so I can't complain. And hopefully all the other fixes, as I said, crashing and flashing, all been fixed as well. So yeah, can't complain at all with this one. Nice big boost, and worth playing. Great game. So yeah, can't complain at all. Okay, we're back. So we had a look at the driver, and yes, there was some improvements, and some things never changed. The UI being a big update from the original set. So yeah, if you remember back in the day, 8 months ago, 9 months ago, whenever it was, when the car got released, the UI was awful. You can't move it around the screen. If there's something in the background behind the UI, you clicked on the UI and it clicked on the background instead. Horrid. None of the functions worked properly. It was just horrid, and I just didn't even bother looking at it. I just used it to play games. It was evil. So yeah, so what they fixed from it, well, basically there's more or less a new UI. Then now obviously you've got the primary display, secondary display, you can test, see if they're working properly. So that's a good feature. Was AMD and Nvidia had those already. It is built into Windows as well, but yeah, it's nice if you just have it on the UI. You no longer have to have the user control come up saying, okay, you want to turn so and so on. It's no longer happening, which is great because it used to happen when it first came out. You start the UI, it comes up, says you've got to have this on, accept it, so you accept it. You go and click on the screen on a blank spot, then it turns the UI off, then you have to do it again and again and again, and it's like, oh, you're driving me nuts. So, yeah, I'm glad they fixed that. Can't complain there really at all. So, yeah, we will have another look at AV1 probably next month, see how many improvements there, and if things got things like anti-aliasing and all that, we'll have a look at those on the UI as well. I won't do a stream because I don't stream on the card. I have to leave that to someone else to test. So yeah, Intel doing a great job with the UE at last. I know it's taking you a long time, but I know things take a while to get going. Gaming wise, so we had 2 games out of our 4 which didn't improve. I couldn't really see any bugs except on Red Dead where FSR wouldn't work, but that's not an Intel thing. It's an AMD bit of software. So I have to talk to the game company, see if they will get around to fixing that somewhere along the line. Because yeah, there's a big boost with FSR turned on, or basically they released XeSSS in Red Dead with a nice big boost. So problem. But at this moment in time, yeah, there's no point turning it on because it's you get all that shadowing bug in the trees and on the grass, and it's awful. Pity really. Call of Duty, don't see no difference. Modern Warfare, no difference at all. Using that. GTA 5, yeah, well, we've got a good 10 frames a boost, maybe 15 in some areas with that card. So yeah, can't complain where. Drivers are really improving. That's with DirectX 11 with a quite a high setup, not the maximum setup. Some of the features you can turn on GTA, regardless of what card you have, you can have a real big drop. It's just the way the game is made. It's quite old game engine, so just the way it is. Total War Warhammer 3, another good boost, 15-20 frames. So again, not complaining there at all. Yeah, and again, they said there was bugs in the game where there was texture problems flashing on the interactive map, the strategic map, and I couldn't find any bugs like that when I looked. To be honest, I've never managed to find any bugs, even when they stated it several months ago. So yeah, no problem with playing Total War Warhammer. Played fine, had a good frame rate on Ultra preset. So yeah, great really. Anything else? I did check Battlefield 1 again. It's got that driver error. It seems to have come back. So I will notify Intel because the game won't run. And that's an old game now, but I like playing it. It's one of those things. Stellaris is supposed to have a big boost. CSGO had a big boost. We will check CSGO again when they release CSGO version 2, which should be coming out pretty soon with all the updates, the free updates. See how it all runs. So yeah, a bit of luck. They've got some nice good performance on the graphics and on all the graphic cards. So yeah, I mean, I don't expect it to be a massive drop of what I've seen. I know the graphics have been updated quite a bit. I don't think it'll be a massive drop on the cards. We've got to remember, we were doing, well, I think like 400 frames, weren't we, on the Arc in some cases. So yeah, it's not going to slow down that much, I don't think. So yeah, great there. Can't complain again at all. I think Intel's doing a good job. It's taking time, and I think when the next card comes out, which I'm guessing, I think it's Q1 next year. I could be wrong. Intel haven't really said nothing, except obviously some of their designers are no longer there. That's a dead cert. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with the graphic card department. I've got a funny thing here, it'll be Q1 next year when they release the next version. I can't even remember what the name is now, the code name is now for the next version. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. But like it's still got last week 16 gigs of video memory. Again, we look at the games we've played. I think all the games we've played were over 8 gig of video RAM. And that was at 1080p. So yeah, 8 gig of video memory is a must. And on top of that, system memory. I know there's some people out there. I know there's a budget and there's a budget. 8 gig of system memory is no good for you as well. So we want to keep away from that. So yeah, I think the test is done pretty good. And as I said, I will do an AV1 test hopefully next month. See how well it's all come out. And we will test Diablo with this card when it's released. Well, for me on the 1st. So yeah, so we'll be testing that and we'll see how it goes. Okay, laters all, have fun, and don't forget to subscribe.